Hi, this is George Sefton, and you're listening to the official ARW.
Hello, and welcome to the official ARW. Yes, folks, it's happened. Virgil Van Dijk is a Liverpool player. Yes, I'm screaming, but I don't care. The move has eventually happened. I'm joined here. The news just broke. I've pulled together John, Randal, and Phil, and we are all going to have a yank wank over Virgil Van Dijk. We'll explain that one a bit more. I'm just going to start it off with a post from the big man's Instagram, which kind of sums up the mood at the moment. Delighted and honoured to have agreed to become a Liverpool player. Today is a proud day for me and my family as I join one of the biggest clubs in world football. I cannot wait to pull on the famous red shirt for the first time in front of the Kop, and will give everything I can try to help this great club achieve special things in the years to come. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Les Reed, the board, the manager, players, and everyone at Southampton. I will be indebted to the club for giving me this opportunity to play in the Champions League, or Premier League even, not Champions League yet, and despite a difficult few months, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Saints, and I've made friends for life. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all your messages, sports. I'm looking forward to meeting my new teammates and getting started. # you never walk alone. Lads, we could nearly end the pod on that. It kind of sums up the mood.
Yes, that is brilliant.
I know we're all giddily excited. Like, I do apologize. I was on the road back from my parents' house earlier, and once the news broke, I started laying on my horn up and down the motorway. To anyone that may have offended, that was me, folks. I couldn't give a fuck, really. That summed up the excitement. He's ours, folks. He's ours. This has really happened. Santa's come good. Does anyone want to take the lead there, and we'll pass the lube and have a good yank wag?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with it. I mean,
okay,
I'm the same way. I mean, I'm at work here in the U.S. and it's a week after, a couple days after Christmas, and work is not fun on days like today. But it totally changed my mood. I mean, I was just like going crazy. I was texting everybody. I was doing my new starting 11. Everything, thinking about who's going to be starting next to him. And I mean, it's just great. It's a great time to be a fan of the Reds. And, it's been ups and downs, obviously, with our defense. So we can finally see what we want. I mean, if you listen back to the pod with me and Jono, that was me, almost getting pretty angry. And just because it's just been on and on and on of, the different, things going on with our back four. And then it was the same three letters, VVD. And we finally got him, so I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, and look, we all know this is rumbled and rubbled. I'm struggling. This is very much off the cuff because literally I've just come in and we've all jumped on a call here, so we will talk a bit more in depth and a bit more facts throughout the week. But for now, Phil, I'll come to you. I can't actually remember the last time we chased a player for so long and we actually got him, and this is like the player had the opportunity both in the summer. He could have joined big teams like Chelsea and City, etc. He could have joined City again this window and got a Premier League medal for himself. He could have probably got a hell of a lot more money. But we briefly spoke earlier about it's great having so much pride in the shirt, and it's like one of us pulling on the shirt. But you almost get that with him at the moment, and I don't think can you remember another situation where we've chased a player like this and we've actually got him? To me, the answer is no.
I think Suarez was the last one because Suarez's transfer saga went on for a while, but it didn't go across multiple windows. It just seemed to rumble on and on and on. I remember he signed pretty late on in the window, if I remember correctly, and Ajax had wanted to bin us off a few times, so I think it was probably that. I would like to say though, Randy, you were saying you were tweeting out and all kinds of stuff. Liverpool fans occasionally spell stuff wrong. I'm not going to name and shame, but a Liverpool fan earlier today did tweet, "We've got VD." So please remember, please remember to stick the other V in there, unless you're celebrating something else.
If you stray away from the yank wank, you could get a VD.
You could get a VD.
Be careful with your yank wank, folks.
But no, listen, it's amazing. One of the things that we said off air, there was a couple of negative people out there. We won't sort of go on the negative because I think they're absolutely fucking mental, and that's coming from me, and I'm probably the most pessimistic person on the planet. But I saw someone say, "Oh, maybe we're spending the Coutinho money." Well, do you know what?
Yeah, I heard that too.
I'd almost flip that the other way and say signings like this are what's going to encourage Phil Coutinho to stay. Because as a fan, we're getting this excited about a player because we know it's exactly what we need to help us get to the next level. The players aren't stupid. They live and breathe this stuff. They know it too. In fact, I think the only person that's not happy this evening is Dejan Lovren.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's exactly what Jono said, is that he could have easily just joined City and, won the Premier League.
And probably got more money as well, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just like that, when you look into it a little different, a little bit more, I should say, it's like, I like that drive of somebody. He's not just going, picking, like when we were kids, it's somebody walking around in a Manchester United or a Dallas Cowboys jacket. He's not going for the front runner. He's actually, so that's
he's got a chance to play for the club that he wants to play for. And I think what's exciting is, John, we were saying everybody that pulls on a red shirt on match day to watch the game has dreamt of playing for the club, and they're lying if they say they haven't. So having a player who clearly is that passionate about the club is incredible. The reason and I know it's not the same because they're homegrown, but the reason that we love the likes of Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, you can even talk about Jay Spearing, Trent, these kind of guys, is they're local boys that love the club, and that makes us love them even more. So having it's almost nicer having a foreign player come in and be like that, if I'm honest.
Still, Lucas
having a player that says, I dreamed of playing for this club. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that kind of thing. I mean, Lucas was called, and still is called, an honorary Scouser. In his own video, he said Liverpool will now always be home. He looks,
and just like his tweet from his tweet the other day.
Exactly.
Like, that's so great. Like,
I think,
go on, John.
You still just want to give him a pound. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's great.
I think the fact that Van Dijk has played for Celtic means he knows what a real footballing institution is. I mean, Manchester City are the plaything of a morally corrupt oil billionaires. So he knows that what Liverpool represents and what it would mean to play for them.
And winning, Steve.
And just to keep you going there, John.
Yeah, so he knows what it's like to have the adulation of a really passionate fan base, and I'd imagine it's quite like a drug. It'd be something special to play in front of them, and especially in a successful team. And by him signing, we've really upped our chances of being successful. It's fixing a massive hole in the team, and it's showing the ambition that the owners have and the faith that they've placed in Klopp. And to be honest, I think Klopp is the only reason why he's joined, because it's not for money. It's not for instant gratification in terms of medals. It's for the long-term project which Klopp is building.
Absolutely. And the one thing I'll come to you actually, John. We'll continue the conversation here. It's almost, I know, obviously, look, what happened in the summer happened in the summer. We're not going to get into that again. That was a mess. We've probably ended up spending another 15 million, and we're missing a good player that could have made a big difference to our team for the last 4 months or so. But look, in a weird kind of, if you want to look at it, the glass half empty approach here, we now have a situation where both the player and the manager have shown the utmost trust for each other. Both Klopp could have very easily gone on to another centre half in the summer. Everybody was telling him, even at the club was telling him, look, we can't get Van Dijk now. Here's a list of other players. Do you want to go for them? He said no. Van Dijk could have easily joined any of the teams, this big team, City, Chelsea, etc., etc. But both of them said no to each other, and now they've got a case now where there's so much trust built up between the player and the manager that, like, it's almost like Van Dijk will put himself through a brick wall at the moment for a team for
just
Klopp.
give him the armband now.
Oh yeah, look, it may as well do it. But to me, John, in a weird type of way, it's worked out in a perfect scenario, hasn't it?
It has, totally, and it just shows how Klopp won't do the quick fix. I mean, he, like you say, he could have easily signed better than what we have in the summer, because let's face it, most centre halves are better than what we have. It's an absolute shit show back there individually. So signing him shows that, one, he's here for the long term and he won't just accept a quick fix. And to me, Van Dijk is maxing out. He's literally the best centre half we could have signed. Like, any better centre half than him in the world would be like monstrously expensive, or their club just wouldn't entertain the idea of selling him. I think it's the same with Keita. Klopp has endeavoured to get the best players he can for the club, and he's managed to sign both of them. I don't think we could have signed better. So we've had to wait for them, but the fact that he won't fill a squad with filler for the temporary is great for the future, I think.
And do you know,
it totally is. Now, real quick, I just wanted to say is like, I was like been quoted to say, is Virgil Van Dijk the only center half available in the world? You know what I mean? But that now that it's done, it really shows what Klopp wanted. He's not gonna buck. He's gonna get what he wants. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Do you know what's even more funny? Guess who's after going off injured for Man City?
Company.
Otamendi.
Company.
Really?
Otamendi.
Company. You couldn't make that shit up, could you?
Oh my gosh, really?
And it just,
Company's still alive.
it just apparently so, but it just goes to show that like the lessons were learned. I believe James Pearce has an article out that the medical staff literally dashed down to Bournemouth this morning to get the medical done out of the way. They weren't taking any risk. Definitely lessons were learned. And look, I've given them enough shit over the summer, etc. But FSG, Edwards, etc. They got him.
You know who I would like to thank? I'd like to echo Van Dijk and thank Southampton, probably for very different reasons.
Liverpool
I haven't made
South?
lifelong friends there. Yeah, I'd like to thank them for being on our unofficial reserves. Because every time, let's be honest. Look, if this was us, let's just put our shoe on the other foot for a minute. Southampton fans must fucking detest us.
Yeah.
Hate us.
But look,
we're hating Barcelona because they took Suarez and now they want Phil. At least you don't take two a season.
This is way worse than what Barca are doing to Phil to us at the moment. Way worse.
I can understand.
But isn't it interesting how the saga was a few months ago, and then this one? I mean, you guys are more connected than me. This one seemed like it. I mean, obviously, this can never come out of nowhere. But it just seemed like...
Do you know what? This is going to sound like such a strange thing to say. I know that Jono was getting texts. I certainly was about a week or so ago. But like everybody else that receives receiving messages, it was just brushed off as, of course, he fucking is. Exactly. It's nearly January. We did this all fucking summer. I'm not playing this. In fact, I was such a grumpy fucker that somebody sent me the picture that Van Dijk put with him by the Christmas tree holding the Liverpool shirt, and I messaged back and was like, "Stop sending me stupid Photoshop pictures of Van Dijk."
That's what I said.
Something that Van Dijk had actually. Van Dijk had posted it. Yeah, he on his Instagram.
I know he posted it, but somebody sent you the message today.
Yeah, somebody sent me that. Well, I think he only took the image today, but somebody sent me that image. And I basically battered him back and was like, load of bollocks.
It's not. It's
I got sent it on WhatsApp, and I'd read that Liverpool were going to agree to announce a deal tonight. So I assumed like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock. So it was hours earlier than they expected. So I was like, "Why are you sending me this fake shit? Like, fuck playing with my emotions like this."
But it just goes to show, and I don't think we can underestimate it. Look, we'll go on and we'll wank a bit more, wank even a bit more about the player and what he's going to be like in our team. But the lure of Klopp cannot be underestimated here. I was hoping
the law of cock.
I was hoping
what have we offered him?
I was hoping someone would get my pun there, but no. It was
back to his Instagram post. I mean, how that just gives it almost makes me want to run through the wall. And it's just exactly. All the different things he said. Like, I mean, it's a dream to play in front of that that stand. I mean, it really is.
But
he gets it.
He gets that.
He does. He really does.
He has. You have Keita turning down Barcelona, Chamberlain turning down Chelsea, now Van Dijk. Big players turning down. Definitely
the
clubs.
Effect.
Definitely clubs that are on the same par as if not a little higher on current standings, and definitely a hell of a lot more money. And we're able to suck in these players, and the things are growing nicely. Look. Go on, you want to say something there, John?
Don't underestimate the power of us signing Van Dijk and convincing other players to join in the future or even stay.
It's a domino effect, isn't it?
Or stay.
Yeah, they're
who could you possibly be talking about?
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, these are willing to spend £75 million a world record on a centre half. Like, they mean business. Like, they're here to win.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's
Coutinho or Emre Can.
Yeah, Emre.
I'm not a huge fan of Emre, but you know what I mean.
Exactly.
No, but that's definitely the two.
I just want to wind this back a little second, and we'll talk about the player, what he'll bring to the club, what he'll bring to the team, etc. But I want to just throw a flashback. I hate doing comparisons to this fucking whiskey nose fucker, but it's what I got in my head straight away. United, when they were wobbling under that whiskey nose fucker, they had issues at the back. They spent big money. There's like Ferdinand, Stam, etc.
Yeah.
They spent big money. Ferdinand's, I can't remember Stam's fee. I haven't researched it, but I remember Ferdinand's was 18 million, which was the world record for a defender at the time.
We've smashed it, so he can go fuck himself.
We've smashed it again, and look, obviously the market has inflated since, but you know, this is a massive statement. We have the Fab Four. We have a lot of attacking football. Now we've got this beast. 6'4". He's a beast in the air. He can read the ball pretty well. He's good on one-on-ones. He's good taking the ball out from the back. He can play a very high line. He's a leader. He's probably going to
take free kicks.
He can take a free kicks. Yeah, he's good on either
He's
foot.
very good at free kicks.
Is probably our next captain in the summer. Anyone else want to keep on going? He's going to walk into that. He's going to walk in that team, as we said. Is eligible for the added bonus. Can play in the FA Cup against the Blue Shits on the Friday night. Can play in the Champions League.
He has experience of making average players look much better.
26 years old.
He wants to be there. Wants to be there. Like, that energy shouldn't be underestimated. Like, to have that fucking drive. Like, he's not here for play.
Let's not do too much on this, but isn't it? I know we're touching on the Klopp thing again, but isn't it fantastic to have a manager that doesn't ask Steven Gerrard to text players to convince them to come?
Yeah. How far?
Yeah, exactly.
How far have we?
Massively, in a very short space of time as well.
And that you can see that in the owners, they're willing to back Klopp. They're like, "Who do you want?"
He's proven. He's proven to them that he can do this. So of course, when they say, "Listen, all right, then we're gonna." You know, who do you want? I want Keita for X. Don't come back until you've got him. I want Van Dijk for X. I don't want a plan B. These are the players I want. Go and get them.
Klopp's
and look, I'm not a massive fan of FSG, and he's well known and not, but credit to them. Listen, credit to them for this deal, because look, I'm going to be really honest. I was expecting him to join City. When I saw those links the other week, I thought we've missed our chance. We should have got him in the summer. Someone was saying to me, "Oh yeah, but Van Dijk wants to join us." Yeah, but the other side of that coin is, if Liverpool really wanted me, they'd have got the deal done.
Yeah.
It would have been so easy for them to say, "Oh look, we've tried, and look,
they didn't. They've smashed it. So massive credit to them.
It's great though. Sometimes football is that simple. Jono was mentioning when United were signing like problems defence, they signed big defenders. Remember when they lost the season on the title and goal difference? They signed Van Persie and they won it the next year. Or like City with Ederson, sometimes it's just that obvious. You don't need to like have this all highfalutin theories about it, and it's just like, we're weak in this area, we sign a good player, ergo that area gets better. It's just so simple and obvious that it's kind of refreshing that we haven't like tried to take a shortcut like we have done in the past. It's like, we need this big player, we get this big player, boom, done, grand.
It's beautifully simple. I think that's what's so amazing about this, is that it did literally feel that simple. We need this. We've got this, and that's nice, because we tend to not really do that as a club.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, again, touching on another player I'm not a huge fan of. Henderson. I mean, we've needed additional midfield cover for forever, and it's just never seemed to be a priority. I mean, we're almost letting Emre Can go on a free. Henderson's out injured and he's inconsistent when he's there anyway. Milner is, when he's finished playing, they drop him off at the retirement home and then pick him up again the next week. We need some and Ginny is very inconsistent. He's a good player, but he's very inconsistent. And in fact, there are times when I get halfway through a game and I'm genuinely surprised when I see him, because I forgot he was playing.
Yeah, but
I think the theme of this. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, he has his buddy beside him now. He's leader.
Wow, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's true.
He's such an incredible. Look, he's an incredible player, and I don't actually remember, John. You asked about the last time we chased somebody or pursued somebody this hard and got them. I'd also raise, I don't remember the last time I was this excited about a signing.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I'm excited about Keita, but he's not signed yet. He signed it for summer. Again, I was more excited about how clever a piece of business that was, rather than about the football player, because I knew it was going to be at least 6 to 12 months before we'd actually see him.
Yeah, me too. That was good.
So I was excited for the deal, but I wasn't really excited about him, because that would have been pointless, because he's still a year away. But Van Dijk, genuinely, I mean, we were saying before, you can't play him against Burnley. It's the same day you sign.
He has to. I'm over for the Burnley game. I'll be gutted if he doesn't play.
Listen, it really, it doesn't. I said this off air, didn't I? It doesn't make any sense to knock the confidence of the players that we've got. And if you play a player who was signed for us within a matter of hours before the game with no time to have trained with us, and you instantly put him into the starting 11, it just screams to the players there, you are not good enough. And that's not going to help us at all, because we still need a good push to the end of the season. So they need to be high on confidence, excited about him coming in. This needs to be built up as here is a world-class defender who's going to take us all and our game to the next level and get them pumped up about it.
Yes, that segues right to what I wanted to say, was that I really think this is a perfect example of how, Lovren, the guys around Lovren and our center backs had to compensate, and it didn't go well. This will be the reverse of that somebody to come in that can solidify that position, and then Henderson, Chan, Genie, those defensive midfielders can, play their game a little bit more than, there's no way, it's human nature and sport, that there's no way that they're not looking over their shoulder. Or
I think you've got to be, and you've got to be more confident, especially midfielders. Midfielders have to be more confident knowing that they've got him behind you. It's like when defenders say, knowing you've got a great goalkeeper behind you allows you to relax enough to be better at your game. I'm going to make a prediction now, and hopefully I don't end up with egg on my face. Jono, you mentioned about who he's going to play alongside. I think he's going to play alongside Lovren. And I think Lovren, rather than Matip, personally, and I think that Lovren will actually come on leaps and bounds. I think the two of them, it will work out this season. I'm laughing because Randy's currently showing me his phone where he's got Gomez next to him, and I see your point, but he doesn't really seem to favour playing Gomez at centre.
But I also have Keita in there, and I have to be determined for my goalie. For my keeper, so this is more down the road.
We're buying another 3-letter abbreviation.
I think
Kevin Trapp.
Gomez is a big winner, because eventually he'll be moved to centre half, and to play alongside someone of that quality with those leadership attributes, and of that style, it will really help him in his development.
I think our
that's very true.
I really believe our centre back pairing is going to be Van Dijk, which feels fantastic to say, and Lovren. I think Lovren's going to play alongside him, and I think we're going to see some of Lovren's Southampton form alongside Van Dijk, and not because of Southampton because I don't think they actually played together.
Yeah, well, I kind of discounted him when I said that. I was saying that Lovren brings the guys down, around him down, because they have to compensate for him. But now, if he's in the side with Van Dijk, then he can relax, play his game.
Exactly.
And Van Dijk,
and when he does have those moments where he loses his head, Van Dijk will be the one demanding and shouting instructions, because Van Dijk's been captain of several clubs now.
Oh, exactly.
He's got a lot of experience. Yeah. He knows his shit. He's a good captain. In fact, we've been arguing for months and saying, who's the leader? Where's the leader on the pitch? Other than Milner, I wouldn't say there is any. That's now gone. We whatever ranking you had for leadership skills within our current squad, Van Dijk just knocked everybody down one because he's gone right on top.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's what I text you guys and was just saying, is it odd to have Coutinho as the captain, but not even to go down that road. It just spells out that we don't have a quote unquote leader.
It's so nice what we can do with Coutinho now, though, because at the moment Coutinho is our best player, and I don't think it's the case anymore.
If he wants to leave, then leave now. But we have a very good situation.
So if you've got Van Dijk in the squad, if you've got Keita coming in the summer, you almost want to turn to Phil and say, "So are you going or what?"
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you want to stay?
We're in a better situation now. We can set the ultimatum.
Play hard to get with Phil Coutinho.
It's like your fiance, your girlfriend says you need to get a new job, you need to get your shit together, and then boom, you get a new job, you buy a new car, and then you come to her. What's up? Where am I at?
And you have a yank wank.
Yeah.
I also
I don't need you. I don't need you.
I also think that having Van Dijk playing left side of centre half, because he invariably plays left, it's what suits him better, will really benefit the left back, be it Moreno or Robertson, because they know they have better cover there, because he's a far more intuitive and intelligent defender than Lovren, so he'll cover that space better. So they can literally just bomb on to their heart's content, because they're like, right, he's covering me. It's grand.
The thing about
that's what I had to look back at Southampton. I was looking back at Southampton starting 11 to see, because I just wasn't sure where he normally lines up. But they had him, I looked at 4 or 5 games, and it was flip flopped. It really didn't.
Yeah,
so where does he play, guys? Or what is his preferred
on the left. Really, I think on the left of it
so
too.
That works.
Yeah, it does.
I think that's his preference.
The big thing about it is, and this isn't me getting excited or carried away. The big thing about what he brings to the team is he's going to improve both our defence and he's going to improve a hell of a lot of individual players around in our system.
Oh yeah,
because
and set pieces.
I
didn't even get that was on the tip of my tongue.
We've now got I mean, look, his free kicks are incredible, so we've now got another option, right? Yeah. But the other thing is, look how dangerous he is in the opposition's box from corners and deep balls.
That's what John just said. Both ways.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I think we've really lacked that. I mean, I don't remember getting excited about a corner from the days of seeing Agger and Skirtle walk up to the box together. Because then you'd think it's
Lovren against Dortmund, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
In the last,
I mean, Sacco used to do it, but look, we all know what happened to him. Klavan, I don't think Klavan knows that he has a head. And Lovren's had a couple of attempts recently, and the ball has gone sort of either right into the keeper or almost out for a throw-in. I mean, they've just been really off par. Whereas, even look, we've said this all the time, haven't we? I mean, when we had Suarez, everybody knew that it was pretty easy to play against us because although Suarez was a danger man that could not make a mermaid. He was our danger man. So if you marked him, you were pretty much going to keep us quiet, and we were going to have something really special to score. Now you've got Mane, you've got Salah, you've got Firmino, you've got Coutinho, you've got so many options. You can't man mark these people because it's not going to work. Because if you mark one out of the game, the others are just going to run around you. We've now got the same threat from set pieces with Van Dijk because all their defenders are going to be watching Van Dijk. The second they do that, everyone else is going to be a bit more free in the box and get a bit more space.
Totally. And not to digress too much off it, but it's just going to be so hard for teams to play through us because even now the system means that most teams will park the bus against us and they'll have a very low volume of chances. I mean, how many times has Mignolet can see his first shot on target? So we've just signed the best player in the Premier League to come into that. I was watching a video from earlier, absolutely manhandling Benteke. I mean, just bitching Benteke around the place.
We could not have signed. And I'm not just saying this because he signed today. We could not have signed a better player for Liverpool Football Club at this moment in time.
No, absolutely
not. This is the perfect signing.
Time and situation, and this is exactly what we need.
Absolutely perfect.
He's all the individual aspects of his game that we needed that fit perfectly into our system. He's the missing link. I really do think he's going to take us to the next level. And you look forward to summer, and one of the things we spoke about at times after shitty results was we didn't have enough leadership, or we didn't have enough steel, or a dirty bastard in the team. You look forward to next summer, next season. You're going to have Virgil Van Dijk and Naby Keita in front of you, who are two footballers that can play you nice fancy football, nice attacking football. They can kick the shit out of you. They can play you any way you want. And
absolutely,
they're not going to take no shit, and that's the thing that we need to. We've just added that steel to the team. I can't. Absolutely. I think, and I speak for all Reds worldwide, this is a hugely exciting day. We thought Christmas was good. Christmas has gone a whole new level. We look forward. We look forward to him. I cannot wait to see him wearing the number. This is Christmas morning and
number 4,
and losing your virginity all in one,
and having a wank, yank wank at the same time.
Also, what's great is he's 26, so he's young enough to improve, but he's old enough that he's, got this nous to him and an intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just signing kids, we're signing players who can still improve.
Exactly.
Have the requisite experience to come in and make an impact now. It's not a project like what Emre Can was when he came at 19. We don't have to wait years.
There's a couple of things to look at with this as well. So the first thing I'd say is about the fact that we've signed a player like this. So Salah was a fantastic signing, a phenomenal signing. But let's be honest, we didn't know he was going to be a phenomenal signing, and neither did the club. They hoped for the best. He didn't cost us all that much in today's market. We took a chance on a player who'd been playing well in Italy, hadn't succeeded in the Premier League before, and said, let's give it a go. And he has moved our squad onto the next level. But I don't think that was anticipated. I mean, it was a genius. Who
do you credit with, real quick, who do you credit with that move?
Edwards, Klopp says. So,
Edwards, yeah.
Okay.
You've got to say Edwards, haven't you? So, but with Van Dijk is the kind of signing who, he instantly takes us to that next level, and we're paying through the nose for it because we know that's what he's going to do. Yeah. So that for me is a different signing altogether, and that's why it's so exciting that they've that they've done that. The second thing I was going to say is, I know we could look at negatives and say, look, it would have been great if he signed in the summer and blah, 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 blah. But look, that's gone. I also think there's positives to the fact he's signing in January, because January is notorious for being a bit of a banana skin for clubs. I mean, Arsenal seem to crash every single January without fail. This just raises the whole mood of the fans, the whole mood of the players, the whole mood of the backroom staff. This gives us that fresh lease of life of, we've just finished a good pre-season and we're ready to smash the crap out of some fuckers on the pitch. We're kind of going into January with the same momentum and the same excitement, and that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, and it shows how Klopp is learning. He's rotating now because our legs fell off last February and January. He knows that he needs to sign a defender. Everyone's like, oh, well, Klopp doesn't sign in January. It's because usually Klopp hasn't had to sign in January. He hasn't been here long enough to assess players. Like, this is only his third window at Liverpool in January. So all we can ask him to do is learn, and he seems to be learning lessons.
He's getting it.
That's one of the most pleasing things, really, because as John, you rightly said, last season, what could have been an absolutely exceptional season had the arse cut off it by that January period, particularly that week where we lost 3 games in a row and literally we fell over the line, and in hindsight we were probably lucky to finish in the Champions League spots, the way we just completely edged over the line. But now the two problems, or the two biggest issues with Klopp and the whole setup, was that we didn't rotate and we didn't invest in January. We've rotated heavily, and we've got an absolute beast, probably the biggest signing we could have hoped for in January, and they may be more.
And the most expensive centre back on the planet.
On the planet. Like, how is that for a statement? How is that setting to even City come to us on the 14th of January, and I actually think that'll be Van Dijk's first game for Liverpool. I don't see him getting thrown in for the derby, because I think Klopp likes to. He spoke about Chamberlain, etc. He likes to get a little bit of preseason. I know it's an exceptional player, but I think he's going to hold him back for the City game. Phil is smirking at me.
I disagree. I think he'll play Everton.
Well, I would like him to play Everton, but I just think he's going to hold on to City. Actually,
what's the rule? What's the rule? If he played, I read a tweet. If he would have played for Southampton in the FA Cup, then he wouldn't be able to play for us.
He's good. He's fine.
He can play FA Cup,
but just for my knowledge, if he would have played, he couldn't play for us.
He could have been cup side. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Cup side, yeah.
So he's good for both cups that we'll be competing in. So look, Phil, you've answered. I'll diverge on this question. It's what'll be his debut? You say the Blue Sheets in the FA Cup.
I think Everton. Yeah.
Randy.
I think Everton too. I mean, that's just because I think it's not going to be. I mean, they can't bring him out for Burnley. I mean, that's the day he signs, and then
5 days later.
Then it's 2 weeks later is City. So I think it's in between there it'd be Everton.
Okay, and John?
I don't know whether he'll start, but I think he'll play.
I think it'll be the Merseyside derby, because he probably won't have anything to do with all of their 11 men behind the ball. And the odd time they might kick it along or something.
On that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We've given one last stake to Everton as we couldn't resist. I'd love to dig up that old tweet about them winning the transfer window and
oh my gosh,
how the red neighbours better watch out. I think you guys better watch out.
Real quick, boys. I wanted to say this earlier. It's definitely a little bit off topic, but did you guys see the girl in Estonia open the Klavan jersey on Christmas?
No.
Did you see her? You guys got to pull it up. I'll send it to Phil or John. I mean, she opens up. It's a Ragnar Klavan Liverpool jersey, and she literally, you should see the joy in her face. She starts crying, and it just was the power of sport. You know what I mean?
That's
somebody
fantastic.
that is a
awesome.
Third-tier player for us.
I've got such a dirty mind. I was thinking, why are we talking about this on the pod?
She was just great. So
I know, it's good to see. It's good to
you
see
were
the
talking
power
about opening up a Liverpool shirt, and I'm thinking, where are we going with this?
Well,
it's a fake taxi.
The topic has been Yank Wanks the whole way through, so who knows? Who knows the things are going. Look, we'll wrap it up. I cannot express all the excitement that I am for this signing. I think Reds worldwide have literally gone, oh god, something special has happened here. This is fucking massive. Virgil Van Dijk.
You would see our faces. We're on Skype doing our, recording this, and you would see all our faces.
Phil looks like
joy.
He still looks like a negative bastard.
I could see it.
He's still a negative
bastard. There's a twinkle in his eye, and he might look for a yank. Might go
For
for a
Van
yank
Dijk.
wank.
He looks like he's already
Again.
looks like he had a few already. Look, folks, thanks to Phil, Randall, and John for joining me.
Yes.
Thank you, Liverpool. Thank you, Virgil Van Dijk. I'll repeat.
Yes,
Virgil Van Dijk is a Liverpool football player. He will weigh
I'm feeling Randy. Up the Reds.
Oh yeah.
Need I say any more? Talk to you all soon, folks, and up the Reds. Have a good yank wank.